This is the PL-89 Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Friday, October 31st, 2025, last day of October. This month seemed to go, for me anyway, to be like here and then gone. Just like vanished. Went so fast. Right. But anyway, the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar for Friday, October 31st, 2025, and it is 6th day of the week, the 9th day of Cheshvan, or Mar Cheshvan, 5786. The parsha of the week is Lech Lecha, and the daf Yomi of the day is Zevachim 47, page 47. And the Gematriatic Quantum Thought Calendar is a calendar that is both lunar and solar. It's a combination of the Gregorian calendar, on which it is the 31st day of October, and the Hebrew calendar, on which is the 9th day of Cheshvan. They're both held in the same table. Along with any new calendar, it's just put in a different place wherever that number shows up. So you're holding time in different measurements of time in the same place and seeing the relationships between them. And that is a mechanism for calculating gematria on a daily basis, to the end that more gematria is remembered, more gematria is calculated, more connections are made, and more truth can be uncovered or revealed or found out, or however you want to say it. That's the basic idea behind this calendar. So, on the solar calendar, we are on the very last day. This is a very unusual place to be on. It doesn't happen very often, because this under here, see this, all these squares, this entire grid is 80 boxes or 80 days. But 90 days, that 10 days is over here. It's an invisible line, imaginary line, or invisible, that is called the 10-day twilight period. And every once in a while, like this month, it gets 11 days. So in the case of October, there'll be an 11-day twilight. And I'm still waiting to find out the ramifications of that, what that means in terms of consciousness, or how that can be applied to number theory, how can that be applied to calculating things that are in reality. I'm sorry, I didn't mean number theory. How that theory can be practically applied. But anyway, it's 10-day twilight 1, so it's T1. T11. This is T1. This is T11. And on the lunar calendar, it's the 9th day of Cheshvan, so it's box 36, which is interesting because 3 and 6 is 9. Doesn't happen all the time like that, but in this case it does. So this is the starting point at any dispensation. Dispensation means it's a certain period where the starting point goes from here, and that can be either from the beginning months, middle months, or end months. But explanation would be for a different time. But in this dispensation, which is the last one before this completes, God willing, in the spring of 2026, Omer time, precisely, of 5786/2026. And it's 14 years in the making. And so at this last dispensation that we're in, all of the months like Cheshvan or Shvat or Iyar or what's the other one? Cheshvan, Shvat, Iyar, or Av. Those are the fixed months. They all start from here. So you count Aleph or 1 of every month, and you go to 8 boxes, and then here's the 9th box. So this is 36. And something came up with a pomegranate today, and I don't often do kohalim, but sometimes when it's very pertinent, I do kohalim. So pomegranate in English gematria equals 115, and we're on 36. And the rule of 40 is that you add 40 to any box and it stays the same. That's the concept of this calendar. It's called the rule, the plus 40 rule, or the rule of 40. That you add 40 to it and it stays the same number, even though it's a different number. And I'll show you how this ties in. It ties in perfectly to today. Today there was a very specific incident with a pomegranate. And so pomegranate with English gematria equals 115, 115. So if you just add 1, it's obviously 116, right? But what's 116 minus 40? 76. What's 76 minus 40? 36. What's today? 36. So that means that on the 9th day of the 8th month, 89, PL-89, this is really interesting. Today's the 9th day of the 8th month. So on the 9th day of the 8th month, something came up with a pomegranate. See, these things are not, these little details, they're not arbitrary. They come from, that's the whole idea. They come from above, let's put it that way. And so these are the mathematics that seek to calculate that seek to understand that. So how is it that this thing with the pomegranate came up, and in English gematria, pomegranate equals 115, with the kollel as 116, and that equals today by the rule of 40. So that's the PL-89 for today.